night." Daniel held an espresso portafilter aloft like a brandished sword, while Brandon whooped in solidarity. Marley, also behind the counter in his apron, nudged Daniel with an elbow. "Powderhounds make coffee." He raised a scolding eyebrow at Daniel as he poured espresso beans into the large silver brewer. Marley was like a surrogate uncle to Daniel, and he loved to razz him as they worked side by side. "I'm on it, boss," Daniel said with his winning smile. Daniel had such a calming effect on anyone. He could have turned Jaws into a harmless guppy. Marley chuckled. "I do actually need to talk to you, though. So let's chat once the line clears up." I wondered what Marley needed to talk to Daniel about. But before I could ask, Daniel turned to me and said, "Your usual?" She never gets anything different. Elle ran one hand through her long, blue-tipped black hair while absently practicing her French horn fingering against her knee. Elle was petite, with long-lashed obsidian eyes and bronze skin that I envied. My own pale skin betrayed even the slightest blush and turned fiery crimson whenever I was upset or angry. Fiercely smart, Elle was the first chair French horn at our school, a force to be reckoned with when it came to her trills and multiphonics. You know, Nadine, you could get something besides Daniel's Pumpkin Spice Supreme. It'll never happen. I was a die-hard creature of habit, and all my friends knew it. I couldn't practice my cello without first playing my favorite D and A note double stop, and I couldn't drink a Pumpkin Spice Supreme at the Snug Mug unless Daniel made it. In fact, Daniel had invented the Pumpkin Spice Supreme, a rich, creamy fusion of nutmeg, cinnamon, and pumpkin, just for me. Daniel could brew some of the best coffee in Woodburn, but it had only been since the start of this school year that Marley had agreed to let Daniel help out at the Snug Mug every afternoon. "You're always sneaking behind the counter to mix up some new coffee concoction whenever I turn my back anyway," Marley had told him with a laugh. Really, though, I suspected it was one of the unspoken ways Marley had of looking out for Daniel. Marley had been good friends with Daniel's dad way back when and had a soft spot for Daniel because of it. Plus, lots of kids in Woodburn had unofficial jobs of one kind or another anyway, because most of the businesses here were family-owned and operated. And Daniel was a hit at the Snug Mug. His recipes were daring, outlandish, and fun. It had all started, though, with pumpkin spice. "Pumpkin spice is so predictable," he'd told me on his first day as a barista when I'd tried to order one. "Everybody drinks it every fall, and you are definitely not everybody. You deserve a one-of-a-kind drink for a one-of-a-kind Nady." That had been a month ago, and since then, the Pumpkin Spice Supreme had become a local favorite. Now, as Daniel steamed the milk and pumpkin puree together and poured them over the espresso in the special "You Had Me at Cello" coffee mug he kept behind the counter for me, I thought back to how Daniel's coffee talent had begun. I was in second grade when my mom left. She'd walked out the door with a blunt, "I want sidewalk cafes, cappuccinos, and grand adventures, not being snowed in for 7 months out of every year." After that, I became convinced that if I could learn to make a capu whatever, I could get Mom back. Daniel, who'd lost his dad in a car accident when he was too little to remember, wanted to help. So, in his typical larger-than-life fashion, he decided we'd learn to make dozens of coffee drinks to prepare for Mom's return. After school one day, we walked to the Snug Mug to ask Marley if he could teach us, and he agreed. In the end, though, it was Daniel who had developed the coffee talent, while I fell in love with the cello. "Here you go," Daniel said now, squeezing a spiraling mountain of whipped cream atop my coffee. He added 3 anise seeds, a cinnamon stick.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.